Football on the Central Coast has been played with pride and passion since 1952, when my father, Pat Morley, was the inaugural president of the Entrance Football Club, the very first football club on the coast. It has been about persevering the tough times, desperate tackles, and a battle for recognition that has created a new heartland for football in this country. We took a moment to interview a range of local icons to hear what football means to them. These stories and countless more typify the true spirit of football on the coast and will set the scene for chapters that are yet to be written.
My first memories, I grew up when my family had where Mingara stands today, and at that time the Entrance and Wyong were the options. There was no Berkeley Vale, no Killarney Vale, no Arimba, no Tuggerah. My two elder brothers were at Wyong, so that's where I went, and it was great, it was fantastic. Enjoyed the passion straight away. I was quite shy, you know, a boy from Tumby. It took a friend's father to drag me out of the car to get me involved, and I haven't stopped since. It was a wonderful club. At that time, Wyong didn't really have a home. We trained at Baker Park, but our home moved between Tuggerah Oval and Canwall. And I always remember one of my great memories is introduction, why football is such a wonderful game and the sportsmanship it brings you. I was about 9 or 10. We were playing a game at Canwall. A boy in the other team, I remember it was Terrigal. He had a wooden leg from the knee down. It came apart during the game and the whole game stopped so we could help him reattach his leg, and the game went on. It's one of my great memories of the game because we've seen courage of a boy not being held back with the disability he had, and for us it showed that it goes far beyond just the game. You know, it's the passion that boy wanted to play for his club with his teammates, and we were proud to be out in the field with him. One of the great values of football on the Central Coast and Central Coast football is the fact that it's a sport, a family sport. It caters from the boys, the girls, the men, the women, from 5-year-old through to 65-year-old. And all competitions are growing as it goes. The clubs are growing, and the bond, the pathway from a 5-year-old boy playing from Southern Eggleton United all the way through to getting the opportunity to play A-League in Australia with our own Central Coast Mariners. I've been asked the best players I've played with or against on many occasions, and there's too many. I'd have to leave people out. Football's a team game, and it's teams that I remember the most. 1983, the Central Coast Coasties won the Northern New South Wales State League, and it featured players like David Fitzsimmons, George Gibson, Peter Hamill, Paul Corbett, Andrew Stoll, Jimmy Bryden, a wonderful team, and still keep in touch with those players today. And the 1985-1996 Central Coast Coasties team that won the New South Wales First Division, that featured names like Jason Holmes, Mark Drysdale, Andrew Clark, Damien Brown, Andrew Ollier, Paul Roberts, Steve Cutler, Steve Lilly, Glenn Sprod, Matty Highway, a wonderful team. And once again, it's the friendships you maintain and being able to relive those days. And I think as far as occasions go, this ground here, we're at Plume Park, that's where my great memories were of 1992 when the Central Coast Coasties played the Olyroos. The people that came in, we had to delay the kickoff, the amount of people that were pouring into the ground. That Olyroos team featured Ned Zelich, Paul Ocon, Zelko Kalatz, Brad Maloney, John Markowski, Dominic Longo, and we were beaten 3-2 that night, but being able to lead the side out as captain to a crowd that was here it's something to stick in my memory forever. Well, for them to wear the jersey in this FFA Cup game, it takes me way back to a junior representing the Central Coast in the Northern New South Wales state titles, the long weekend where you had to play 10 games. You'd be playing 4 games a day over that period. Representative football was only on a Sunday then, and then to see the representatives grow and feature from Northern New South Wales to New South Wales, all that culminates, and it's great to see that the Central Coast Mariners are respecting and honouring the history of Central Coast football by wearing this jersey, and I'm sure they'll do it proud. But when you're playing for the badge, you're playing for everyone involved. You're playing for the volunteers, you're playing for the supporters, you're playing for your teammates, and you're playing for success. That's why we're all involved in the game. We all like to be successful, and that's what it takes. It takes the input of everyone to get that success.